What's going on, everybody? Matthew back again, this time for another article. Today we're looking at Bounding into Comics. The article is titled, Rumor, Marvel Studios Fired All the Producers That Could Be Labeled Activists. Lucasfilm doubling down on all the nonsense, written by Spencer Baculi. It starts, as the old adage goes, the more things change, the more things stay the same. According to a new whisper from within the halls of Disney, while Marvel Studios has reportedly learned from their recent mistakes and cleaned house of any and all of its activist producers, Lucasfilm is choosing to keep on their creatively bankrupt path to self-destruction. Word of this apparent divergence between the House of Mouse's two subsidiary studios was first raised on August 2nd by Film Threat founder Chris Gore during a recent appearance on the Critical Drinkers Open Bar podcast. Now, if you haven't heard of Chris Gore or the Critical Drinker, I highly recommend finding their YouTube channels. Chris Gore's at Film Threat and Critical Drinkers at Critical Drinker. They're both very good at what they do, and I do highly recommend subscribing to both of them. They make great content. Offering his thoughts on the Marvel Studios' near future outlook in light of their showing at the recent 2024 San Diego Comic-Con, Gore opined, I think we're going to get a year of bad Marvel stuff. TV shows, you've got Agatha All Along, you've got Ironheart. These two movies, Captain America, Brave New World, which might be good. They've done a lot of reshoots. I think the budget is now at like $200 million. I seriously doubt it's going to make its money back or as much money as it wanted to. But it could be good. Who knows what they've changed ever since they did Deadpool and Wolverine. Maybe that caused them to make some changes in that movie. Hopefully, we'll see. They also have two more, Thunderbolts, which I know nothing about and I care nothing about, and Fantastic Four, which I saw the leaked footage. It did look kind of interesting. One moment, I'm going to take a drink. It did look kind of interesting, but it kind of sounds like everything's hanging on that movie right now. I think that's the last movie before Avengers Doomsday, which we're going to get into right here. Chris goes on to say, we'll see how Robert Downey Jr. will be used, referring to the news that the former Iron Man actor would be playing Doctor Doom in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars duology. He goes on to say, is he a variant of Tony Stark? Is he just an actor playing a different character? So whatever it is, I think it's interesting. And we'll see. Hopefully he's not playing Doctor Doom. He's just a variant of Tony Stark. It would be weird to have another character played by not only one of our heroes, but one of the biggest, if not the biggest hero in the MCU. It would be very difficult to get behind that. But as you can see in this picture in the comics, there are alternate versions of Doctor Doom where Tony Stark became Doctor Doom in his Iron Man suit. So I'm hoping that's what they do. Let's move forward. In further arguing for his optimism, Gore then asserted, quote, I do know people who work at Marvel. They have cleaned house. They quietly, months ago, fired all the producers that could be labeled activist. That's hard to believe. Did they fire all of them? I highly doubt it. Did they fire a lot of them, enough to try to make a difference? Maybe. But I doubt they fired all of them. Let's keep going. Unlike Lucasfilm, he declared, Lucasfilm is lost, and it is. They are doubling down on all the nonsense. You will never get anything good out of Lucasfilm and Star Wars. That's it. And unfortunately, as long as Kathleen Kennedy is there, that's the truth. There are reports that Kathleen is looking for like a big win before she retires. It's not going to happen. There's no win she can get. She might as well quit now. Let's keep moving. Turning to explain the reasons behind Marvel Studios' apparent house cleaning, Gore detailed, Kevin Feige recognizes. Basically, he said he tried it, it didn't work. He's talking about Phase 4. That's it, tried it, didn't work. No Kang. None of these side characters that don't have the legacy of classic characters. And if Deadpool and Wolverine proves anything, you've heard that phrase, male and pale is stale. That was spoken aloud across studios. But if you look at box office this year, I would say male and pale is money. And that's the phrase that I think people should more adopt. So yeah, there was a director, I can't remember her name, but she was in charge of some Disney products, and she had gone out and said that male and pale is stale, basically just meaning that white men, it's old now and it's time to move on. And what Chris is saying here is not that you need white men to make money at the theaters. We know that's not true. There's plenty of Will Smith movies, you name it. There's plenty of black, brown actors that are able to generate money for Hollywood. But basically, this really just means getting back to good old-fashioned storytelling where we care about the characters. It doesn't matter what their skin color is, or even if they're male or female. It doesn't matter. Just give us good characters that we can go on an adventure with and see a good character arc. Like Tony Stark. His character arc is very long, but very fulfilling and very satisfying. That's all we need. That's all we want. And it's so difficult for them to give us that. Let's keep moving. Ultimately, whether or not Marvel Studios actually has changed their post-Phase 4 identity politics-based approach to the MCU remains to be seen. And unfortunately, given Pedro Pascal's casting as Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, if they have, the results likely won't be seen until at least Avengers Doomsday. Until then, fans have to suffer through Agatha All Along, which hits Disney Plus on September 18th. If you don't remember, in WandaVision they introduced Agatha, who had a song called Agatha All Along, and that song was popular. So they decided to make an entire show about her just because of that. I don't know who's behind all this. It's really dumb. But yeah, basically that's the end of the article. It's like he said, Lucasfilm is lost at this point. They just have to get rid of Kathleen. Basically, they just need to sell everything back to George. Kathleen's not going to get a victory. She can stay there till the day she dies. She's not going to get a victory. She can die looking for one. I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. She's not going to get one. All right, guys, so that's the article. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Am I being too pessimistic? Do I need to be more optimistic? What are y'all's thoughts on Lucasfilm and when or if it will be sold back to George? How long does Kathy stay? Just let me know all these things in the comments. Hit that like button and please subscribe, guys. You guys take it easy.